Hello, everybody. Ella J here on behalf of SEScoops, and today I am joined by former X Division champion Willie Mack. So, how are you doing today, Willie?
I'm doing pretty good, chilling, relaxing, getting ready for the pay-per-view.
Yeah, this pay-per-view is going to be so exciting, especially with the summer heating up in the world of professional wrestling. But as someone who claims to be an all-around fun person, how have you been having fun or enjoying your summer so far outside of wrestling?
Yeah, just going out and eating, trying to catch a couple flicks, and playing video games, my number one pastime.
Ooh,
Ain't nothing like yelling at people online.
That's true too. What flicks have you been seeing? Because I know movie theaters and that stuff are slowly beginning to opening back up. So what have you seen so far?
I seen the Demon Slayer movie. What else did I see? I haven't seen Fast and Furious yet. I seen The Boss Baby recently, and there was one more movie I saw. I can't remember what it was, but it must not have been that good if I don't remember it.
Fair enough. But the Boss Baby franchise is really, really fun too. Got to mix it up sometimes from Fast and Furious to a good animated flick. That's for sure. Keeping you busy in video games and all of that for sure. But we are currently also on the road to Impact's 17th annual Slammiversary pay-per-view coming up on Saturday, July 17th. And as announced on July 8th, you will be competing in the Impact World Tag Team Championship fatal four-way match with yourself and Rich Swann against the Good Brothers, TJP and Fala, and the current champions, Violent by Design. So, what are your general thoughts as we head into this intense matchup?
Well, my general thoughts is that's a lot of bodies to be thrown around.
Ain't that
But
true, too?
hey, it's up there for them world tag team titles, and hopefully we'll get some new champions or Violent by Design or retain. But who knows? It's wrestling. We're gonna go out there and give it our all. Me and Swan been working for this, especially since he got injured, because we had a tag team title shot, but I had to do a handicap match for the title. So now we coming around full swing, and hopefully we come out with that W and see if it was meant to be.
Like you said, there are definitely going to be a lot of bodies in this matchup as it is a fatal four-way tag team match. So, how do you combat all the moving parts in a match like this, especially?
Well, just look around and start swinging, and whatever hits, hits.
Fair enough. It is unconfirmed, though, which two members of Violent by Design will be competing in this championship matchup, as the Freebird rule is in play for them. So, how do you kind of combat this uncertainty in such a high stakes environment like this tag team championship matchup?
I don't know. That seemed like it's cheating. I feel the two people that won the title should be in the match, not like the other two. Well, I guess just pick a person and hope for the best and see what happens.
Pretty much, pretty fair. Violent by Design obviously also interrupted your tag team matchup on the July 1st edition of Impact. So, which that was so unfortunate. You guys had just gotten started, and then obviously
Yep.
Violent by Design runs in and lays down a pretty brutal attack. So, what is your response or thoughts on these kind of, I would say, unprovoked attacks?
Well, my thought is they scared because why would they come after two tag teams for no reason at all? Because they feel some kind of way about it, knowing that we a threat. So yeah, I'm flattered by it. So come Slammiversary, it's gonna be some payback, or maybe closer than that on the next Impact showing.
Maybe you never know, especially, but I think it's time for some payback, Willie. There's a lot of history there though between Eric Young of Violent by Design and your partner Rich Swann though. Those
Yeah.
two have had such a heated rivalry in the past. So how do you see this rivalry maybe reigniting and possibly affecting the course of this fatal four-way match at Slammiversary between Rich and Eric Young?
Maybe because I don't know. If I got beat up by somebody before, I wouldn't want to come back at him again. And Eric Young is that somebody that got beat up, so this is probably his way of trying to get like a little payback on Rich, but it ain't gonna turn out good for him and his group. So we'll see what happens.
Tell us why it's not going to end up out good for Eric Young and Violent by Design. What are you and Rich going to be bringing to the table on Saturday?
any planner that goes into a war don't give up his strategy just yet. So we got something for him. Just like I know they planning for all of us. So we got a little something in our back pocket, and y'all just gonna have to tune in to see what that is.
Okay, fair enough. Not wanting to give up your tricks. Gotta keep the element of surprise in place since you don't even know who's really gonna be competing in representation of Violent by Design. So fair enough. Fair play, Willie. I see you. Okay, fair play. Now, speaking about your tag team partner, though, Rich Swann, how would you describe your current alliance and working relationship with him and all of that story, how you two really came together, you think?
Well, we came up pretty much the same story. Two dudes down on their luck. He's from Baltimore. I'm from South Central LA, and we met each other randomly at a wrestling show and connected real well. So he seemed like more like a brother than a tag team partner to me because we know each other like the back of our hands and we click. He brought me into Impact Wrestling to be his partner. So it's great to see years later that we still kicking and doing our things. Even though we went our separate ways for a minute, we came back together and met in the middle, and we going after what we strive for, them tag team championships.
Yeah, it's kind of like a full circle moment for you as now you have this tag team championship opportunity ahead of you. But say that you two do come out victorious. What is going to be the first thing that you two are going to be doing in celebration, perhaps?
Taking myself to sleep because I know I'm gonna be tired. But then after that, probably take a few pictures and everything and roam around the neighborhood and show people what you can do if you put your mind to it. And yeah, just keep this thing going. Don't want it to be a one-time thingy. Just see if we can stretch it out and get like a year out of them and call it a day, make some history.
Fair enough, too. There is a lot of amazing teams currently in the Impact division and Impact Zone itself. So, who are some tag teams, maybe in professional wrestling from the past and maybe current, that you really look up to, whether they're in Impact or outside?
Oh, outside. Probably actually the Motor City Machine Guns was sweet. They was sweet. LAX was hot. Who else? Triple X was hot. Remember them?
Yes, yes.
And then I guess another one that kind of looked up to was Harlem Heat. That was pretty sweet.
Iconic WWF tag team. Iconic.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yeah, those. Mm-hmm.
I'm curious too, though, do you see Violent by Design as your biggest threats or competition in the current Impact Zone tag teams? Or is there really another team that you are really kind of feeling the tension between, you think?
Maybe, well, of course, the champion is always going to be the number one priority, but following right behind them will have to be somebody who's been there and had a taste of the tag team gold, and they've been around a long time. So the Good Brothers is numbered right up there with them.
And you'll be going against them too in this fatal four-way championship match. You got some stiff competition, but you and Rich are definitely no strangers to gold. So I have no doubt that you guys are going to be going out there and giving it your all too, especially. But speaking of championships, you are also a former X Division champion, and I'm sure you're excited to see the return of the Ultimate X match where Josh Alexander defends his X Division championship also at Slammiversary against Trey Miguel, Ace Austin, Chris Bay, Rohit Raju, and Petey Williams. So who are you rooting for in this matchup specifically?
Well, I'm going to have to go with my Canadian homies, Josh Alexander or Petey Williams, because it's crazy that Petey Williams is still doing this thing after all these years and it don't look like he missed a step. And finally, Josh Alexander is by himself proving that he is a damn good wrestler. And now it's a different story. Well, you don't really have to be a good wrestler to climb up and get that X Division title from the X.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens then. As long as I'm not in it, I'm happy.
Fair. Yeah, the Ultimate X match is pretty wild, I would say. So in your wrestling career now as a whole, going over a decade and all of that, what do you think has been the wildest match stipulation or maybe occasion that you have competed in the ring? Obviously, you haven't competed in an Ultimate X Division match. Ultimate X match, I don't believe. But otherwise, what do you think has been the craziest match that you've ever competed in?
Probably the Ultima Lucha 1 match with me and Cage, the Falls Count Anywhere match. That was pretty fun.
Definitely felt it afterwards, all the soreness and all of that, I would assume, right?
Yep. That one was a banger, and another one that was me and Johnny Mundo in an all night long match.
Huh.
Yeah, for the Lucha Underground title. We went a whole hour, and I was like, I didn't think I could do it, but we did it, and we tied it up and went to sudden deaths. So I was like, yes, I'm never doing this again.
How do you prepare for such a match that requires so much resiliency and I guess fortitude, especially going an hour long? How do you even prepare for that?
How do I prepare? I didn't.
Okay.
I was sweating my ass off thinking about it leading up to the match. And then once it happened, it was over. And I was like, I could have went another 10, 15 minutes maybe. That's the thing. People probably prepare too hard and psych themselves out, but I just let things happen.
I think that's a testament then to your, I guess, fortitude and resiliency. You are a veteran, so maybe you don't need as much preparation maybe as other people. So that's something too, I guess you can always rely on, especially in high stakes matchups like that one specifically, right? I would think so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And speaking of high stakes matchups, also recently announced for Slammiversary was W. Morrissey versus Eddie Edwards, somebody you are very familiar with. We also had the Knockouts champion Deonna Purrazzo defending her championship against a mystery opponent. So this card is definitely pretty quickly stacking up. So is there any other matchup on this Slammiversary card that you yourself are particularly looking forward to outside of your own Fatal 4-Way matchup, of course?
Well, I'm pretty sure everybody gonna have their interest in the big doggy, the main event, Kenny versus Sammy, and see who's gonna take the Impact title home or keep it with the enemy. But another good match I want to talk about, Chris Sabin versus Moose. That should be something else.
It's gonna be insane. It's going to be absolutely insane. But you talk about the enemy, Kenny Omega, coming in from All Elite Wrestling. What are your thoughts then as Kenny Omega now holds the Impact Championship, and hopefully we get a new champion, right? What are your thoughts on Kenny Omega, I guess, now kind of coming into Impact Wrestling and kind of taking over?
He ain't really took over nothing. It's just like, what he did was strange, and I don't see how Tony Khan backs him up, because the dude literally won your championship, showed up on another promotion's TV program, his first appearance, and they up here backing him up and cheering him on like AEW that. It's like the dude left y'all company because he knew he was going to get his ass beat for what he did. So why y'all rewarding him by coming over here? I don't know, something got to happen, because Kenny's was a cool dude, but then he became kind of, I don't know, thinking he better than people. But we'll see what happens when Sammy gets in there, and I'm pretty sure he's going to put a beat down on him, and hopefully he gets that championship back and brings it home.
I think a lot of people, I would assume, especially in the Impact locker room, are definitely rooting for Sami Callihan to bring the championship back home, like you said, too. It's definitely going to be a high stakes matchup, but obviously this also marks the 17th annual Slammiversary pay-per-view. So looking back on the past, do you have any favorite Slammiversary moments or matches throughout its history?
Probably, was it Taryn Terrell and Gail Kim?
I believe so.
Yeah, that one was crazy. And I'm trying to think of some other things that happened, but I'm drawing a blank right now because I ain't had nothing to eat. I don't know.
It's okay. It's okay. There's been a lot of history throughout Slammiversary, so it's definitely hard to narrow it down to. And I'm sure we will be getting some more iconic moments at this year's pay-per-view coming up on July 17th. And this also marks the first time in 16 months that Impact Wrestling will be airing a show with live fans where tickets actually sold out the same day, I believe. So how are you and the Impact locker room feeling as you embark on this exciting event now with the addition of a live audience again?
Oh, it's great. It's like a kid at a candy store. If you ain't had no candy in about a year and you finally get your first taste of it, you're gonna go crazy. So knowing there's gonna be actually people there to hear us and like celebrate with us instead of just looking at David Pinzer and the cameraman, we actually have live brethren people in the building.
It's gonna be crazy. And fans can also purchase tickets for Impact tapings the following Sunday and Monday at impactwrestling.com. So what an exciting experience, not only for the fans, but as the wrestlers themselves. Now you get fans to feed off of again. And imagine you take home those Impact Tag Team Championships and you get to bask in the glory of the fans and that moment in general, too. It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, and then my cat will have a new plaything to play with. Where you at? Come here. Say hi, Simba. What's good?
Hi, Simba. Simba, you're gonna have a new champion in a few days, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Don't jinx me.
Fair enough. Now, before I let you go, Willie, can you please tell the listeners where they can find you on social media and where they can watch the Impact Slammiversary pay-per-view?
Well, you can hit me up at Willie_Mack on Instagram and Twitter. Facebook is Willie Mack Official. And you can check out the Slammiversary pay-per-view on Fight TV. Get the Fight app. There you is. Set up a little, if you ain't got an account, set it up and you all good to go. Oh, and you can catch Impact Wrestling on Access TV every Thursday night. And you can catch it on Twitch if you ain't got Access TV, because everybody got the internet and everybody got Twitch. So you can't have no excuses.
No excuses, not at all. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Willie. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I wish you the best of luck, although I don't really think you need it. But fingers crossed, you're going to be taking home those tag team championships at Slammiversary. Am I right?
Oh, hell yeah. Hopefully. That's the goal.
And don't forget to tune in to Impact Slammiversary live on Fight TV on Saturday, July 17th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where Willie and Rich Swann are going for the gold for the Impact Tag Team Championships. Again, thank you so much for joining me today, Willie, and I am highly looking forward to this amazing pay-per-view coming up.
Oh, no problem. Thanks for having me on.